If we're going to talk about synthetic being synthetic, we need to offer much more scientific proof. Here's a little short idea about proving it as we talk about photons and the photosynthesis that nature knows, not synthetic.
Every leaf and tiny clump of moss has hundreds of thousands of microscopic mouths called stomata. Plants breathe through them, taking in carbon dioxide and exhaling the oxygen that we need to live. Plants can survive without us, but we and all the other animals, we'd be toast without them.
You see, photosynthesis is where energy from the sun, photons, strike the electrons, bringing them into higher energy states. Here we have the master equation of life, where sunlight allows H2O and CO2 plus nutrients to combine into organic matter, energy, carbohydrates, all the plant matter, and oxygen. And we have this big loop back and forth, this process, this master equation. This process puts the electrons into the right place. And the synthetic chemical companies do not know how to do this, as our friend Neil will tell us.
The plants make food out of sunlight. We animals can't do that.
Only plants can store this energy into their high energy carbohydrates, but animals then can extract this energy to use it to make life force energy. Synthetic chemicals can't do this.
To see how they do it, we have to go deeper, make ourselves about 1,000 times smaller to get into their treasure house, the place where they keep the good stuff, the chlorophyll. That's the molecule that converts sunlight into energy.
You see, photosynthesis allows the plant to make these high energy electrons, these high energy sugars, and then the Krebs cycle inside the human body allows us to take that energy back and to convert it into our energy, our life energy. It's a very complicated process, but we need to point out synthetic chemical companies do not know how to do it.
We could steal their trade secrets. It would trigger a new industrial revolution.
The chemical companies do not know how to do this. They do not know how to place the energy in the electrons. That's why synthetic is synthetic.
We're on an industrial espionage mission. If we can penetrate the trade secrets of the manufacturing process in that chloroplast, let's just say our whole future hangs in the balance. This chloroplast is using sunlight to break water molecules into atoms of hydrogen and oxygen.
Nature knows how to do this, and we do not know. Nature knows how to make these high-energy carbohydrates, all the different plant foods. Now we're going to study about the idea of the atom coming from Democritus. The idea that there is energy in the atom, and we need to understand our energy. And in chemistry, they're taught with rods and balls, but in truth, there are no rods, there are no balls. That is all something that is done wrong. Much of what's done in the chemistry class is done wrong. And you can't trust atoms, you see, they make up everything. Let's learn a little bit more.
Never really touch. Each atom has a tiny nucleus at its center, surrounded by an electron cloud of lines of force. As the atoms approach each other, the boys' electron clouds push away the girls.
Yes, absolutely right. Nothing touches. The outer electrons repel each other. So thereby, nothing really touches. It's all energy.
More than 99.9% of the matter of any atom is concentrated in its nucleus. The nucleus is surrounded by an electron cloud, which produces an invisible field of force and acts like a shock absorber. The configuration of the electron cloud determines the nature of an element.
Yes, there's vast distances between the atoms, between the electrons, and etc. And this really needs to be understood, that what we are is energy. Now let's learn more about the atoms.
The nuclei never touch. We have a sensation of touching, but that's really just our invisible force fields overlapping and repelling each other.
Yes, energy in the atoms and energy that makes up us. And we're just starting to really understand this vastly, vastly complex process. And we really need to understand that this whole process of quantum transfer, etc., is just not known by the synthetic chemical companies.
The nucleus is very small compared to the rest of the atom. If an atom were the size of this cathedral, Its nucleus would be the size of that mote of dust.
Since what we are and what holds us together is energy, we should have a medicine that deals with energy rather than just the chemistry.
The simplest and most plentiful atom in the cosmos is hydrogen. Its nucleus is a single proton, which makes hydrogen element number 1. The clouds that surround it are the realms where this atom's lone electron is permitted to roam.
And the outer electrons can take different energy states from high to low. And what we're going to find is that nature can make them into high states, and the chemical companies cannot do this.
A nucleus with 2 protons is element number 2, otherwise known as helium. A nucleus with 6 protons is element number 6, which is carbon, the fundamental building block of life.
And to throw in an idea talking about photons, there's photon entanglement. At one level, we are still all one. And this understanding of nature, we need to be able to respect nature more.
The nucleus of a gold atom has 79 protons. They attract 79 electrons and clouds around it. The way light interacts with those electrons is what makes gold glitter.
The science that lets us understand this is known as quantum electrodynamics. And we have written books and have done an awful lot of research so you could learn more about quantum electrodynamics and nature.
It combines the hydrogen with carbon dioxide to make sugar and releases the oxygen as a waste product.
Nature has this vast secret, and it's able to take that light in different parts of the spectrum and do different things with it. And we are just now starting to have the simplest of understanding.
See how it happens? We have to go even deeper, get even smaller. We're talking atomic scale. Bingo! This assembly line is the heart of the molecular industrial complex.
Vastly complex problem. Nature knows. Nature knows how to do this. The chemical companies do not. And this is basically the idea that allows us to have our natural medicine rather than looking for synthetic patented chemicals.
When sunlight strikes a green molecule of chlorophyll, it sets in motion a series of chemical reactions, breaking apart water molecules and freeing energetic electrons. And that's just the day shift, when sunlight supplies the incoming stream of energy.
The incredible complexity of man and plant being together, the animal kingdom, plant kingdom, all working together. This is the natural phenomena, and this means natural medicine as well.
There's a second shift that works day and night, using the solar energy kept in reserve. The energy of the free electrons is put to work, combining carbon dioxide with hydrogen from the water. The end product is sugar.
Day and night, nature working to put the electrons into the right spot for us to get energy. This is all through a quantic process of quantum electrodynamics, and only nature.
The chloroplast is a 3 billion-year-old solar energy collector. This submicroscopic solar battery is what drives all the forests and the fields and the plankton of the seas and the animals, including us.
The extreme complex balance, but it's threatened by the chemical companies. And we have proven beyond a shadow of doubt that a synthetic is a synthetic. And I hope this little video has taught you a little bit more.
But if we could figure out the trade secrets of photosynthesis, every other source of energy we depend on today, coal, oil, natural gas, would become obsolete.
The chemical companies simply do not know how to do this photosynthesis, electrodynamics, and add the energy. Only nature does.
Photosynthesis is the ultimate green power. It doesn't pollute the air and is, in fact, carbon neutral.
And no, we do not know how to make this photosynthesis process work, so we have to respect nature. In fact, we're going to have to respect nature for an awful long time. You see, these synthetics are the cause of autism. That's been proven. And we've been able to show that synthetic is synthetic in a vast, vast, vast body of research. And recognizing that the synthetics definitely have side effects and dangers. And how do you know something is synthetic? Because it's patented. To get a patent, you must prove that it's unnatural. So in other words, to understand this, I've made this very simple and clear. Use natural medicine. It has the answers for you. This is Desiree Duvenet signing off.